Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so that wouldn't be too good. Fair
So
enough.
let's talk about these other resistance guys if we can right now, because I think I kind of think of all the resistance ones together.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
there's
Go
two
ahead.
majors here, Major Callian Emmett and Major Taslin Brants. Emmett can deploy -2 as a react to an episode 7 site, and he's got a weird pseudo maintenance cost. At the end of each turn, you must use 2 force, lose 2 force, or return him to your hand. So it could be good to take him back in the hand and react for 2 next turn, or you might want to keep him there at the site, but it'll cost you a little extra. I think he's a neat little card. He's got some good numbers, some good stats. And then Brant's is a more of like I guess you could almost say he's like an information broker type. He's like a communications guy for the resistance. So if an opponent just looked at cards in any deck or pile, you can peek at the top card after they put it back. And then start your control phase. If the top card of your lost pile was a resistance or resistance starship, opponent loses a force. So this guy also encouraging you to play as many resistance cards as you can. But I'm curious what you guys think about these guys as we're kind of fleshing out more resistance characters in the game.
When I first looked at the reacting guy, Caluan, I was like, why didn't they just make it a maintenance card? But then I realized that it's at the end of each turn, so it's going to work on the opponent's turn too. So he's going to get bounced a lot, or he's just going to be like a little mini spiral on the ground, just coming down for his stats. That's a good card, and it's something for sure that I think OA can use with love. It's going to be great in OA. Good card there for that deck. And then the other dude, I like his damage text. When I saw that, it caught my eye right away, and I'm thinking about ways to like abuse it outside of OA. But most decks, I mean, OA barely has enough resistance characters as it is, let alone any other deck. So that's probably primarily where he's going to be used. But his text is cool, and when you think about it, it's going to kick in a lot. If your opponent is battling you on their turn, then you can strategically forfeit people during their battle phase, so that you'll have a resistance character at the top of your lost pile come your control phase, which is just 3 phases or 4 phases later.
Yeah, just sort of echoing. I kind of like these guys maybe a little more than Leia, really. Yeah, the React guy's interesting. I'm maybe not as big a fan of him as you two seem to be, but I definitely see where he'd fit in potentially. The other guy though.
Well, because he will get hit a lot of times. At ability 3, he's going to get hit, and then he's just a power 4 kind of chumpy. But when he sticks around when he doesn't get hit and he sticks around for the entirety of his stats, dropping him for 2 force as a react is pretty solid.
That's true. I agree with you, Reed. The other guy though, I'm definitely looking for different ways to kind of abuse him for that ping damage. Anyway, you have these standard sort of decks where you can increase the damage output a little bit. Is always good. Plus, maybe he opens up some new options as well. So yeah, these cards are interesting. Always good to see more resistant people. As far as that goes, I guess that's really about all I have for that. Any sort of closing thoughts for either of those two?
Nope.
All right. We skipped over Ken Kian, the matching pilot for a snub fighter. When he's on one, he draws a destiny if not able to otherwise. An opponent may not substitute battle destiny draws here. So, I guess.
Yo, whose card is this?
Someone with the same initials as King Kia.
Kyle Kruger.
There you go.
All right. Well,
actually, it's not. Wait a minute. I'm wrong. I think there was like a little bit of a custody battle, but I don't believe it's Kyle's now that I think about it.
Huh. Well, that's weird. Anyways.
It might be Bill. It might be Bill's.
Huh.
Bill has 2 cards in this set?
It's possible.
Good for him. So this card, I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. I guess I could see some play, right? Maybe.
Yeah, he's like a Merrick Steel mirror, but he's got any matching ship really, so you can find him a little bit easier. I think he would see play in Snub Fighter, Squadron Assignment decks. He doesn't not work on something like Home 1, so you can't just throw him into any deck space and cancel Watch Your Back. But I think he'll see play in a number of different Squadron Assignment decks.
All right.
No comment.
Okay. Reed has no comment. It's interesting. He is he's a rebel. He's not a smuggler. So 2 of the more common decks that use Squadron Assignments, Watch Your Step iterations, and We Have a Plan aren't able to use him. Not that they necessarily need it, maybe, but yeah, this guy might fit in some different spots. He'll have a lot to say about
Is
him.
Anakin ship a Snub Fighter, the Azure Angle?
No, technically not.
Yeah, so that guy's a guy. Now we got Sabine Wren. I read on one of the threads, this is probably not going to be on Explosive Charge Virtual, which is good, I think. Indoor, not a very prevalent set, all things being equal, so an uncommon...
What the heck? Dude, I just spent $20 on 10 of those on eBay.
That's what you get. I believe it's going to go...
Come on. Stop it.
Yeah, I think it's going to go in Infantry Mine, which I believe is a comment from Hawk.
Yeah, that's good. Well, just... I mean, more...
Oh, nice. I got a bunch of Japanese infantry mines.
There you go.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it just seems like, 1, Explosive Charge, you use a few copies maybe in a Rebel Strike Team deck already. 2, at some point you might want to make some sort of Explosive Charge for her. So it would be weird to have to, have, 2 or 3 with her picture on them and then some without. So anyway, female Mandalorian Scout, Power 4, Ability 2, Armor 5, Deploy 3, Forfeit 6. When firing a blaster or rifle, target for free, add 2 to the total weapon destiny. If with an Imperial or 2 Rebels, whenever you win a battle here, opponent loses 2 force. Immune to hidden weapons. Alright, so Ability 2 Rebel, so she gets the bump from Insurrection, which is pretty cool, to a Forfeit 7 if you're playing combo, might be useful.
I think she's the only character outside of Wedge that can get up to an 8 with non-combo Insurrection.
I believe that's right.
Yeah, so that's pretty sweet.
So, I mean, for us uninitiated, I know this chick is a big deal in the universe, but where is she from?
Mandalore.
She's Mandalore. She's from Mandalore.
Like from what canon? Like she's from Rebels?
She's from Rebels, yeah.
Alright. She's a pretty big deal then from that show.
It's a pretty big deal.
Because, to be elevated into Wedge tier, where you can become Forfeit 8 with Insurrection, you'd have to be a pretty big deal. Especially since she has a defense value of 5.
Yeah, I really like this card.
4.
Sorry, go ahead, Brad.
Oh no, just saying. Also her power of 4. She's in many ways, I would say above Wedge actually.
Yeah, no doubt about it. For your extra 1 force, you're getting massive number value. Now, the Destiny doc notwithstanding, nothing beats Wedge's Destiny 4. But this card is superb. She's a scout, so obviously an easy pull chain to get this chick in your hand. And being a Rebel of Ability 2 provides for a lot of interactions, like the Insurrection, like she goes straight into Diplo. And then her game text is just like three hits in a row, with the biggest one being the damage. I mean, I'm not like a big goofy blaster rifle kind of guy, but I know like people are salivating at the prospect of playing a stun blaster on her or whatever. And I'm sure there's probably even better options than that. And even going forward, like DVD's gonna have to watch out to not ever make a card as good as Legacy A2 180 sharpshooter rifle.
Yeah, we actually talked about the non-V A280 sharpshooter rifle already. She can do some damage with that too, but all in all, I mean, I think she's a great card. I think she'll go right into my Diplo. I think the Stun Blaster idea is pretty cool. I actually would entertain trying that out too, just because the Stun Blaster I think is a cool destiny already. I think that's pretty cool. I'm excited to try this one out.
Yeah.
Stun Blaster's a 3 destiny.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this right that she does not add to the power of stuff she pilots?
That's correct.
Isn't she any good at piloting in the show?
She does a little bit of piloting. She does, so in one of the later seasons, she does pilot, I believe, an A-Wing, if I'm not mistaken. But for the most part, she doesn't, she kind of sits literally in the back seat to Hera.
Alright. Well, yeah, this card will get a lot of play, I think. We're all sort of in the lead, on that. But it's not, it's not necessarily one that you just throw willy-nilly into every deck, but there are several decks where she'll have some interactions that'll be pretty useful, I think. So that's cool. This will
Kind of continues to kick entanglements while it's down. Like, you guys nerfed the objective, and then this card comes out, and this card is really brutal against that.
Yeah, you'll be winning a lot of battles against entanglements, making them lose a lot of force, so it does hurt.
Entanglements really can't afford that kind of force loss either. Like, if you can win 2 battles with this chick, like against an entanglements deck, like dealing that extra 4 force loss out of nowhere, it's just really tough for an entanglements deck.
Interesting to see what becomes of entanglements with some new cards and some of the changes. Whether they'll still get played, people will adapt, or if they'll move away from it, try out some other things maybe.
I think the errata will have a minor impact on the regular Walker's build, and obviously it'll have a significant impact on the Trooper build. The Trooper build was pretty much not even played at Nationals. I think it showed up on Friday night only. So, yeah, I mean, it's targeted at the Troopers, but I think it might just slow things down a little bit against the Walker's version because they can't get cheap pilots out first turn, or they can't get a ATST with Piet on Executor. But all in all, I don't think it's going to affect the errata alone, at least. Won't affect IE's playability. Overall, in my opinion.
So, all right. So then we have a Yoda. Sort of, some of the text here reminds me of, there was an old virtual Yoda. But essentially, I mean, it seems like probably the intent is mainly a mind what you have learned helper, but it is probably worth noting that he can deploy anywhere, and he's immune to attrition, so that's not to be necessarily overlooked, especially with the reset. It was kind of a thought that there should only be so many completely immune people on each side of the force. That's why like Mace got changed and stuff like that. So yeah, the uses in mind you have learned are pretty obvious. Any thoughts from either of you on